Hello, namaste, hola. I'm Jon, I'm from Mallorca, and I have been working for mobile growth about 6, 7 years. I started in Fortunica app, it's a global marketplace for life advice. I was leading the CRM there, building the team, the strategy, and the tooling. Then I moved to a small fundraising local app in Mallorca, Karma Club. It doesn't lift off. Then I joined Blacklane. It's a mobility service. I was working as a lifecycle manager there. And for the last 2 years, I was working for ShareTheMeal. So ShareTheMeal, we are a fundraising app that connects people with people in need. So we have three main USPs. One is that you can select a goal. You can donate to Ukraine, or you can donate to Malawi, or the recent disaster in Turkey, Syria. So we are helping people around the world delivering food, basically. Second USP is that it's really low entry point, just 70 cents, it's one meal. We will send one meal. And the third one is that we are a mobile, and we are kind of unique in the fundraising industry, being mobile. We are kind of the first ones. And we are part of the United Nations World Food Program. So all the food, all the money, all the donations that you are going to donate after the presentation, they will be delivered to country officers. So you need to think about the World Food Program as a really big logistic hub that is around the world. They have country officers everywhere. They are building resilience projects. There are meals for school children. And they respond when there is an emergency. They have planes, helicopters, trucks, even these amphibious cars. But if it's needed and they need to go to the Afghanistan mountains, they will go with donkeys or with whatever they find. They will become creative, and they are partnership with a lot of local NGOs to organize and to deliver food, to create resilience and save lives. What's next? Okay. So my goal today is to give you a framework that you can use to map your user journeys, okay? And you can use this framework basically to align with main stakeholders or with top management, and to break the silos, because it's really important to align with other teams. As you can see here, CRM is a really multidisciplinary role. No? You work with tech people, you work with tech, you work with data, you work with marketing. When I talk about marketing, I mean also content, design, psychology, market research. So you need to combine all these three disciplines in order to reinforce the core value proposition of the product. So we are servants of the product at the end. No? We are helping the product to have better retention, engagement, and so on. But if your product is not good, even if you are a master in retention, you will not manage to increase things like retention. Yes, and going back to this framework, I'm going to show, to align, because one of the lessons I learned in my previous job, my boss told me, I joined as a lifecycle manager, started to map all the journeys, all the pushes, all the winbacks, resurrection, blah, blah, and she told me, stop. Before you start to map everything, let's align with the team. So we created some workshop. It was pre-COVID, whiteboards, post-its, everything. We invited people from product, from customer support, tech, all together, building together all this journey, all these maps. So then it's not about a thing of CRM. It's about something about the whole company working together in a project. So people are more involved if you create a map. And also you can use it as a roadmap about what are you going to build in the future. And yeah, it's basically a good tool you can use. Okay, so if you ask outside of this conference, what is CRM? Maybe 80% of the people don't know, and maybe 20% they will tell you, yeah, it's like a tool to send emails, to log calls that I do to prospects, used by sales reps. And yeah, it's technically this. I was using that. I was working in PR before for gaming. So I was doing a press release, I went to my CRM tool, I blast all the media communication. It was before GDPR, so I could do it. And hoping this gaming press is going to publish my press release. And then I was tracking, and then some of them I was calling them, hey, I offer you a revenue share banner. So if you get a user in the game, a percentage of the money they spent in the game, it will be for you. It was even before Google AdWords, Facebook, and so on was calling people to get an ad in the press. But CRM, it's really old. It has been practiced for centuries and centuries ago. And I want you to meet the innkeeper. So imagine you are in the Middle Ages, you are new in town, and you arrive and you want to drink something, and you see the Dragon Tavern or the Lion Tavern. And then you decide, okay, I go to the Dragon Tavern. You go there, you order something for drink. He charges you with the most expensive wine, 3 gold pieces. Okay, you drink it, you go home. Next day you say, okay, I'm going to try the Lion. So you go to the Lion Tavern, you enter, you order something for drink, and the innkeeper asks you, hey, where are you from? What are you doing here? What do you like? Do you know we have this beer with honey, it's called Met. And yeah, let's try it out. You order, he just charged you 1 gold. He started to talk about politics, gossips about the town, religion, whatever. So next day, which tavern are you going? It's clear the answer, no? But imagine you are a pilgrim, so you are just 2 days in town, and then you go, and even the innkeeper, the lion, he also gives you for free another drink, okay? So he don't make any profit. But next day, you are a pilgrim, you are only 1 day at the town, you go to the next town, so probably you think, okay, the dragon make 3 golds and the other make 0 profit, no? But still, when you finish your pilgrimage, you go back your home, you will probably stay again in the town, and you will probably go to the lion. And when you are back home, who are you going to recommend to all your friends that are also pilgrims and they need to do the same journey again? So at the end, CRM is about building long-lasting relationships. And yeah, there was a big evolution in the 20th century. It's the mail order. It's the first time to collect data and to calculate return of investment. So there was ads in the newspapers. You can get for free a product. You just need to add your data. So you add your data. We send you something for free. It looks, we are not doing any profit. We are losing money. But you have the data, so you can send them a catalog and sell another product. Then you can segment by people that see, okay, they are purchasing this kind of stuff, so let's send more catalogs about that. So because you get data, you can start to segment and calculate your ROI. Yeah, so CRM has evolved. Now we have multi-channel, we have really urgent and annoying kind of intrusive channels like emails, push notifications, SMS, WhatsApps, or a call, and other channels that are not so urgent, like in-app messages, so you need to enter to the app to consume the content, or content cards, or inbox. But the good thing is that you can combine. You can use a push and urgent to send people to the in-app, and then they can consume both of the contents. No? What's next? Okay, so Claude Hopkins, it's the kind of the father of CRM or direct marketing. So in his book, Scientific Advertisement, he was talking about this mail order, how he exploited the system, but he also introduced the habit loop. It has 3 phases. You have a trigger, an action, and a reward. And he started with this ad that says, okay, just run your tongue in your teeth. Do you notice this film? So that's what makes your teeth look off color. So before this ad, no one was cleaning the teeth. So he created the habit. That's the reason we are cleaning our teeth, thanks to this person. No? So he was thinking that I don't want to sell one thing to a user. I want them to repeat, to create an habit. And that's why he introduced this. And the habit, it was also reiterated by the hook model, the atomic habits, the power habits. There is a lot of other authors that use the habit loop, but I like to highlight this from Reforge because they add the channel, and the channel is what we use in CRM in order to spin the loop. In this case, so it's important in your company you identify what is your core habit that you want to create. In our case, it's the impact loop, because when you make a donation, you don't receive nothing. It's not like an e-commerce, you receive your shoes, you put the shoes, and you feel you're a runner now. In donations, you just give money, and what happens next, no? So we want to show what is happening with your donation. That's the impact loop, no? You make a donation, then we say you, okay, watch what is happening with your donation. We do it personalized, so if you donated to Malawi, then we will show you content from Malawi. You make the action, you open the app, and then you consume a video with a country officer explaining you what exactly are we doing with your donations. But we identify much other supplemental loops, like achievements, or when a friend of you is donating, we notify you, or a milestone, or we have different, or one of our important is an emergency loop. So there is an emergency in the world, we are really fast communicating to the customer, to the user or donor, that there is an emergency, so please help. Okay. Now we are going to start, okay? So I want your attention here because this is the important part. The other thing was just the introduction. So first of all, you need to solve a problem. If your product is not solving a problem, you don't have a product. And we identify that our problem is that people feel some kind of void inside of them because the world around them, it's not perfect. There are a lot of disasters. So they feel they want to solve the problem. And we give them the power to kind of solve this problem and see how it's happening. So you have problems that go from candy, like when you go to Instagram just to check some content. You have some vitamin problem solving, that is when you receive a like in your feed, so you feel like this boost is a vitamin, or a painkiller. You want to go to a club, and then you search in Google how to go to this club, you get the address, you kill this pain in the moment. No? It's utility apps usually do that. So we are in the kind of the middle of vitamin booster and painkiller, but we did some surveys and we identified that some users, the dream is to go to the field, to go to Africa with the jeep, go to a town, build a well, help the people, see them smile, see them that they are improving their life. But of course, you have family, you have dogs, you have a work, you will never leave all this to go in this adventure, no? So one of our missions is like to show through the people, the staff of the World Food Program, through the eyes, this adventure of what is happening there, no? So you feel with your donations, you are in this adventure. And now, yeah, that's important. So we are going to start a journey now, and it has different swim lanes. The first one is a milestone. So it's to track KPIs, OKRs, or whatever important metrics you want to measure. Then we have the pirates metric. I use this because everyone knows, and it's good for top management. Then we have things that happen in the product and things that happen in marketing. And then we have what is called the narrative, the hero's journey, that's introduced by Joseph Campbell. He studied all these stories from humankind, from the Bible, Buddha, Quran, Ramayana in Hinduism, the Vedas, or the story from Homer, or the Odyssey from Homer. And he saw that all these stories had the same structure because it's embedded in the human psyche from years and years and before even written scripts. So from word to word, the stories have always the same pattern. And Hollywood has exploited that. A lot of authors, Star Wars, Matrix, Disney movies, they all follow this narrative because it hooks, it engages with the user. And then we have emotions that I learned from a fundraising masterclass, that you need to always track what is the state of the user and personalize the message to this stage. Okay, let's start. Okay, awareness, okay, it's pre-installed, so I don't need to talk about that. We are talking about when a user installs the app. So it comes from an ad, installs the app, we have an onboarding and product, and the first thing we do is like we ask for enable push notifications. And you can just be simple and say, stay tuned, or you can go to the narrative and say, okay, activate updates from the field. So you are already saying what is going to happen in the future, no? And we notice that we get more push-enabled, but also first donations, or main KPI, just by introducing the narrative already in the push-enable prompt. So our main KPI will be to get this first donation, so the user can explore different goals, make a donation, and this section is what is called in the adventure the refusal of the call. It's why, like when Ulysses didn't want to leave his town and his family to go to war, and people are skeptical, so you need to build trust in the activation. They really need to understand what's your product about. That's why you have a onboarding and you explain all your USPs. So after you make a donation, we want users to sign in, and then we can start the welcome journey where we build trust. We are part of World Food Program. We are part of the SDGs, the Sustainable Goals, Zero Hunger. We are in the mission of ending hunger. And then after some days, we send a push that is exactly what I showed before, this impact loop. Okay, you donated to Kenya, then you receive a push. Okay, watch what is happening in Kenya. You open, you see a video. It's an in-app with custom code to create like this video. And then you have also an email. That's what in the narrative, what it's called meeting the mentor. So it helps you, it pushes you to go to the next level. It's like when Matrix in Neo knows Morpheus or Gandalf or Obi-Wan Kenobi. It will be this kind of figure, and we use emails and pushes as a mentor to kind of push the user to the next stage. That is the crossing the threshold. Oh, I think I went too much. So now all these pushes and emails are dynamic to bring you to give monthly, to subscribe, because we want users to make single donations. It's an easy entry point to just give 70 cents, but now we want them to commit to give every month. So we bring them and we explain, we show your impact, and I'm looking at the time because I think we are not going to have time for questions. As soon as you subscribe, we will educate you that every month we will update your impact feed with new content. So we start to educate the user about that. We are in the retention phase, and then when you see the value of the goal you selected, Kenya, you can explore more goals. So our idea here is that the user gives to a different goal to get content from another goal. Like in this case is Malawi, I think, yes. So now the user trusts us, they donate to Malawi, and they enter again in this impact loop where they understand, okay, every time I donate to a goal, I will receive different content. And what is called this transformation, the transformation to the better self. So the people understand the product, he's the master of two worlds, his own world, his comfort zone, and now they are in this new, they understand our product, no? So they really master it, and we create this frequent giver, what we want to get, so to engagement. And then, yes, in the motion, there are like, yes, they feel, they are in this affinity mode. The last stage is the advocacy stage. So, but if you don't manage to put people in this mode, this transform, this, to get to the habit of donating, you are not able to upsell, for example, to get more revenue. So you just ask them to increase the monthly donation. For example, we have plain text from our CEO with personalized ask amount. And then we have a feature that is a challenge. So you can create a challenge in the app and share with your friends, and they can donate to your challenge. So this we use to get more referrals, no? And this funnel, our funnel, it becomes a loop now, because you start with the new users, we'll start from the beginning, and this is a growth loop, and it's what we are searching. But you need to really activate first and everything to all the users to be able to ask them to share, because in the narrative is what is called the return with the elixirs. When you go back home, you are mastering all this, you have this new knowledge and you want to share with your friends. You want them to have also the same experience. You are in this ecstasy mode. But this is a really linear journey. It's the ideal journey, a realistic journey. The reality is that there are many, many, many paths. Okay, so this is just a corner of this map, and here is where you can kind of craft for yourself more than for stakeholders, but also it helps to align with the stakeholders. What do you need? What all the paths that are possible, no? If a user after 3 months didn't donate and he just made one donation, then let's send a push for win him back and blah, 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 blah. But yeah, that's for another session. And I want to finish with my quote about CRM practitioners. We are architects of stories. We do not own the product, neither the writing or design, but we own the narrative, the structure of the chapters a user goes through in his unique journey. And thank you.